wanted to get one more video of the of my paintings here getting activated in the mornings. This is like at 11 a.m. You can see the reflection actually of the paintings on the granite countertop, which is cool. So we move forward. And you can see how it's set up. Actually, I mounted an actuator at the bottom, right here. I also put some foam, mounted it right at the frame of the window so it's silent. You can see that it can actuate in the wind. The entire painting, the canvas with the wood frame can vary with the wind, so it's actually temperature controlled. The weight of the wood or whatever object actually you put on here. See here, I've got the wood with the actuator here. This is just rubber taping, like just standard old, I think it's Gorilla tape, black Gorilla tape, with the frame piece within it. So it's wood, but it's mounted to the painting with just regular old Gorilla tape, as you can see. But this one actuates as well. It's not as flexible, but it's completely sealed. As you can see, there's no light that gets through at all. Whereas with this one that actuates, it does need to have a thin opening at the bottom in order to enable it to have such flexibility. So it's kind of a trade space there between the two, the actuating bottom versus the Gorilla Glue rubber duct tape type deal here. This one is actually a little quieter as well. As you can see, it just comes, you got decent wind. I would give it about 10 knots right now. Wind coming out of the northeast-ish here in Orlando. So there you go, like here's like all the way back, drop it. You can actually, it's actually the shades pull string that's making the most noise if you listen. It's just banging in the background here. Same thing here, that's what's making the most noise. I think what I'll do is just put a little nail over here so it hangs and it's out of the wind. So to back out, here's the overview one more time. Again, it's about 11:30 or so. You can see that those are a couple of my paintings completed with acrylic and 3D printer resin, which is what is causing the effect whereby the sun heats up the 3D resin, which comes in varying colors. And the 3D resin now has begun to glow fluorescent, almost like a blacklight effect, I guess you could call it. I think one of my friends mentioned. So the final effect then is just, what do you do with that? Well, you've got something that you can mount on your window instead of framing, instead of curtains or shades, that is actually able to control the temperature inside by reducing the light, obviously. Filtering any artificial light, such as street lights or lamps, car lights, other lights that are outside of your home. And it's also mounted basically on 3 screws or nails. That's it. This whole painting, because it's just the canvas itself, there's no framing around the painting. These paintings were done, I believe, around in 2022 or 2023, these two guys. Actually, yeah, 2023, you can see. I signed this one. You can see the signature on this guy. So that's EDR 2022. And this guy, I don't think I signed it. I gotta have to sign it, but it was probably 2022, pretty sure. And there you can see some glow effect. This is pretty good angle. You could kind of see it's like a three-dimensional relief that's coming out of the painting itself. You cannot see that, I think, online, but here, I hope I'm pointing it out. It's actually a three-dimensional hardened surface, feels almost like a plastic here on the top. Where here, just acrylic paint. You can see it's just black acrylic paint. Here would be regular paint and also 3D resin over top. It's gray 3D resin. I think it's more obvious here. Three-dimensional printer gray resin that I layered on top of the paint. So there was an impasto effect on the painting, first of all. And then when I put the 3D resin, it sealed onto the paint, hardened in the sunlight. I threw it in the sunlight probably for several hours, 3 or 4 hours in the afternoons there in Hermosa Beach. And you can see that it's turned into a 3D relief. This one here you can see has got an actual little portal on top of the brick, which I don't know that you can see that well either. But this is the same effect. Yeah, I've got, this was clear 3D resin that I painted on top of the painting when the painting was completed. So it's now sealed on top of the paint. It is again a 3D relief plastic almost. Whereas here's the canvas with acrylic, and then 3D resin. You can, maybe that helps to hear the hardness effect, and it's three-dimensional relief effect again. As I run my finger along the relief effect, hopefully that helps you. Maybe if I turn this all the way to the side, you might be able to see it almost. Okay. Same thing over here. I think this will help. See, in a two-dimensional frame, you can still see the 3D effect, I think, with the angle change. Okay. So what we'll do here now is just show you the final effect, which I think is actually the cumulative best effect that you have, and that is the ability not only to adjust the environment inside your house from a temperature setting and a lighting setting, but to automatically and immediately remove the shading effect and produce the full sunlight that's already outside of your house from the sun, just by literally grabbing the painting with one hand. They're probably, I'd say these canvases are maybe 5 to 10 pounds at most, depending on size, of course. But I believe these are, I think these are 60 by 36 inch frames. So that's this, how it's covering the entire window here. You just pull it off with one hand and you set it on the side. I put it against the wall on the floor, I'll show you. And it still maintains a decorative effect within the house all day long, whether it's hanging over the window or it's sitting on the floor resting against a wall. Okay, so here we go, man. This is exciting to show it when it's finally set up. It took me a couple months to get all this, the weighting and the connections to the paintings to the wall and etc. I wanted to make it as simple as possible. So you'll see it's either 3 screws or 3 nails. I believe in this one I've got three nails. This one maybe 3 nails, and then I've got one other painting over here that has no 3D resin effect. And I'll just show you that just real quickly. So no 3D resin effect on this guy. This was painted black on the back, so the black background keeps the resin from being activated because the sun cannot penetrate into black to heat up the resin. There's still, the plastic effect is still 3D, so this is like a bonfire, essentially kind of a Michigan bonfire effect was the idea anyway. But you can see it's not activated even though it's got sunlight behind it. It's not activated because the black paint, acrylic paint, that I put down as a background first is blocking the sun from getting to the hardened resin. Okay, so it's still hardened resin, just no activation, no glowing effect. Okay, so three paintings of mine there. There's another one. That one doesn't have any 3D resin in it, but it's kind of cool. Okay, it's kind of like a broken America, right? So there you go. One, you know, of 2 and 3 over here. All right, so we're gonna pull one off first. These are all the same designs. One hand, left hand, grab it, lift it off the screws, set it down on the floor here. There you go. That's kind of the idea of the day. Put it out against the wall. There's the window wide open. It looks like it's cloudy today. I didn't even look outside yet. So there's Orlando, Florida today, whatever it is, 12-ish, 12:45, 11:45. All right, so there you go, sky. I have wrapped the strings out of the way, so you don't get that banging effect over here, except this guy here. But they're on top, 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, just standard screws. I think I got them at CVS or Home Depot, wherever. Straight in. But there you can see my testing, all my testing. I got to the simplest design, 3 screws along the framing of the home. So they're going direct into the frame here. This one's is just into the stucco. This one is direct into your frame along, again, kind of along the outside of the window. Aligned with the outside of the window. Okay. Now let's go to the ones that haven't been activated and do the same thing. And then we're going to be done. This is going to be about 15 minutes total, not too bad. Maybe I'll edit some stuff out. Or tell me if I should. Okay, so we'll take this one off first. This is like the same effect before of the last painting, the bonfire, but I did this bonfire as kind of the smoldering, just the smoke. No fire, just smoke in the background, as you can see. You've got the smoldering effect of smoke coming up with no orange fire billowing out, just the smoldering effect. But this one does have the 3D resin, and this one has the resin poured first, rather than the black paint poured first, if that makes sense. And that is why you get it, the effect. Now we take it off, left hand, one hand, pull it off. Take this guy. Just set it on the wall. It's time to water the plants, of course. There you go. I've actually removed the screen as well. It's perfect elevation here on the second floor that keeps the bugs away anyway. So I just have an open air house all day long. And we'll take this guy off. I'm switching to my left hand, the phone in the left hand, grabbing it with my right hand, taking it off with one hand. And I actually just stacked that guy right over the other one. Again, time to water the plants. See, the window's still accessible. You can shut it, open and shut it if you need to. If you want to shut off the entire effect of having any outside air, you can do the same thing, just change as you would with a normal window, right? So you can still have complete shut off with or without the paintings by using your normal window that's already in your house. All of this would be post market, post everything. It's real simple. You can see, what do you need to do this? Well, the simple installation of one window is going to be a frame that is, at least I would suggest, 1 inch wider and 1 inch taller than your window frame, so that the painting itself is going to completely cover your window opening. So a painting needs to have the 3D resin effect, which I've explained, I think, hopefully enough explanation at this point. If you need more, I guess put question in the comment of the video. And then your mounting, which is either just three standard nails with flat heads on them, so they can hold the frame and essentially lock it in place, while the weight on top of those nails will, from the gravity and friction, hold the frame in place while it varies with the wind. So you need the painting that's at least 1 inch wider and 1 inch higher than the height of your window that you want it to cover. The painting would need to have the 3D resin effect. The painting itself is done, as you can see, it's kind of just the ideas in my head of whatever I want the design of the home or the room to be. In this case, my paintings were done before I moved into the apartment, but I think they've kind of worked out well. You can have them be whatever you want it to be. It's really a cool idea. You can, every day almost, you could say that, every day you could have more than one frame or one painting per window. Say you had a collection of these, and you could literally change the entire effect, the ambiance, the feng shui of your home or specific room every day or every hour. It's just a matter of grabbing one painting and putting another up, right? That's really all it is. For example, let's just do this just to show. Grab this one from over here and we move it, and I'm gonna now, I guess this will be the final closing of the demo. I'm gonna take this guy. This is the one from over the other corner. I'm just gonna hang it to show you that these are all interchangeable here. That's because my apartment here is its design has every window frame, of course, the same size for efficiency. You know, they're trying to build out these apartment buildings, hundreds of units. They're going to have pretty standard settings usually, right? This is the 1-bedroom apartment, so I have 3 of these standard windows, and I've just moved the bonfire painting that I had hanging over there, and I've moved it over here. Now, I'm going to take the Porto painting, and I'm going to take the Porto painting, I'm going to put it over here in front of where I had the bonfire just now before. And actually, I've never had this design here, but it's good. I want to check it out, actually. So here we go. I'm loving it already. Now I've just moved remember now, this is the one with the 3D resin effect activated here. So you can see that now I hang that over this other window, and I've got the lighting kind of coming in subtly. So you could adjust your lighting, literally a customizable on each painting. Crazy, right? That's crazy. I just thought of that. So based on the amount of 3D resin used in the paint while the painting is being created, you're now also creating a customized lighting effect within the painting now that you hang over your window. So if you wanted, for example, lots of light to make it through the painting, so almost a transparency setting, if you will, if we're talking video or in photography or pictures, graphics, transparency setting. What percent of the painting do you want to be transparent? If you wanted it to be very transparent, i.e. almost like a watermark over an open window, you'd have this be very transparent. You'd use almost all 3D resin, right? You'd use all 3D resin on top of your canvas. Just a white canvas. So the light making it through the canvas would then essentially translate through the 3D resin effect in some kind of a shape. And that's making me get very excited. I'm about to go do this right now. Oh my gosh, I am going to go get me a blank frame, some more resin, some acrylic paint, and I'm gonna make a watermark, and we'll see what it looks like. Give me a couple days and we'll have the new update. But there, you can see this one was in 2023, EDR 2023. So all right, so we've got that, and then for the last effect here, just to close it out, recall we opened up in the morning with me checking out the paintings, removing them, giving you some specs, and now we're just hanging them back up as it was at the beginning of the painting. I'm sorry, at the beginning of the video about 20 minutes ago. So about 20 minutes ago, you had me come out here into the kitchen studio area and open, I guess what you would say, open the windows for the morning. Now I'm just showing you what you would do at night if you're closing them up, or whenever you want it just to be, dark in your house. Maybe you want to watch a movie, whatever, what have you. So now I'm just moving this. We've got going to have the matching bonfire and the smoldering smoke together. And I think I'm going to change the phone over to my right hand because I can, just for the angle here. Hang this guy right there. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Here we go. So there's the fire. No 3D resin. Completely blocks the window light. There's the smoldering smoke, which actually has the 3D resin effect. So in this case, you've got from an artistic point, you've got the point and counterpoint. You have the smoke, which actually is lit. The smoke, the billowing smoke coming off of a fire that's gone out is what is actually lit. Here, you have the billowing fire from a symbolistic point of view. What is on fire, but it's actually dark. There's no light. There's no light coming through. A fire that's lit with no light. A fire that's out with glowing smoke. Pretty cool. A theme, I guess you could call it, of your house, or whatever you want to call it. But you can now design your home with its own theme and interchangeable themes on a daily basis. It's all based on how many of these paintings you have and how many windows you have, right? Okay, that's enough. 23 minutes. I meant to go to 15. I might edit some out. But for anyone who watched all the way through, appreciate it, and thanks for watching.